Well, here we are. It's Friday. It's Shoot the Shit with DSP. We didn't have one last week. I had my 2-day seminar, and we had a crowded room. We had good energy. It was a lot of fun, and I'm not going to lie, I was exhausted by the time I was finished. We added some new things to the seminar, changes on how we told stories. We had a VIP ticket and a section. We had a for the VIP people and members who are our VIPs all the time. We had a social. It was really great. I hope those of you who are on here that may have attended the seminar can tell me what you thought of the changes, but I thought they were pretty cool. Looks like we've got some of you joining as we speak. Do me a favor as you come on, if you want, tell me that you are here. Tell me hi, give me a yo, give me a something. I also am trying to figure out whether or not I'm connected again, that I can bring your comments on screen. I have failed to get that done the last 2 times, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But there you go. We're going to get started here in just a second. I will let you know that I normally don't row on a Friday, and I have a friend who said, hey, rowing buddy, said, let's go get some extra coaching. So we went out this morning. So I literally rushed back here, threw some clothes on like I don't know that you want to be sitting next to me, but you can't tell that I've been working out through the video screen. All right, here. You guys are quiet today. Nobody wants to say hi to me. You're killing me. You're killing me. Now I can't even test if the comments thing is working. That's all right. We'll get there. We are going live, right? We are good. I don't have Mary telling me nothing's working, so we'll just move on. So let me get this going here, and we're gonna hit. Here we go. Welcome to Shoot the Shit with DSP. STS with DSP happens every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube, travel schedule permitting. We're going to invest about 30 minutes out of your day to get pumped about the upcoming weekend, get excited about crushing your goals, and finding the motivation to be the best you possible. Plus, I'll answer your burning questions. I'm David Scott Peters, creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula, and your coach. Now, before we go any further, again, I want to make sure that you are logged into your YouTube channel, your Google account, whatever that is. I'm hitting everything. I'm making everything work today so that you can participate in the chat, because when I get finished with my section, I'm going to be answering your questions. And it looks like I shut down my screen here. So I am having challenges this morning. This is what happens. All right, I've got, just so we're going to see if it works. Nope, my comments are not working, but I do see it. Mary says good morning. Mother's Cantina, that is Ryan James, says good morning to you as well, my friend. Neil says, my bookkeeper hasn't got me period 4 back. Period 5 is ending Sunday. I'm working on setting up Extra Chef. Should I try to replace her? I don't have enough information, Neil, but I'm going to tell you that if you're not getting your data within 15 days on the long side at the end of a close of a period, we've got a problem. And you can't run your business without a budget and then measuring with those actual numbers. So it may be something that you are looking at a point in time where it might be time for a change. And but I probably need to dive into that a little bit. Matt Plapp's in the house. Sup, homie, he says. I wish I could click on that and make it come up. It is not coming up. I actually have a Diet Coke over here. I think it says homie on it because that's what we did in the 80s. What's up, homie? With that said, Matt crushed it at our 2-day seminar. Love the energy he brings and the marketing professionalism, the information, the teachings. Great hit at the seminar. So I'm always pleased to have my friend Matt Plapp there. If anybody wants to learn about what he does, go to America's Best Restaurants or go to mattplapp.com, mattplapp.com. We've got Carlos. What's up, Carlos Z? He was in the room. Good morning, DSP. Had a great time in Vegas. I was paralyzed with all the information. A crying, laughing symbol. I wish I could bring it up. It was fun meeting everyone. Yeah, it was great having you there, my friend. It was nice to meet your wife and spend a little time with you outside of just the seminar room in the social. Really glad to have you, especially because you've been here so much. So we're going to get started. Let's get going. Here's the deal, Restaurant Pro. Coaching programs, okay? I get it, I've got one. Coaching programs are everywhere. Shiny promises, big transformations, testimonials with six-figure wins. I don't know about you. I know you see my ads on your social media feeds, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Google. If you're searching, we're all out there trying to get our share, and we're all telling you about our great wins. Sure, absolutely. But when you finally pull the trigger, right, you make the decision to go with the coach. Sometimes, you get burned. The first time I got burned, it was a YouTube channel guru. Oh, he hyped his program up like he was Willy Wonka's golden ticket. Like, man, if you just sign up with me, this shit's gonna change. You know. He taught nothing. I got 0 results. There was some one-on-one component there. Jenny on my team's been with me for, I think we're debating on how many years, probably 18, if not longer. We worked one-on-one with him and his assistant, and man, we were frustrated. Like promise after promise after promise, nothing was happening. 0 results. You know what? Then he dropped me. Out of his frustration, he didn't want to deal with Jenny and I anymore because he could not deliver what he promised. Now, talk about a punch of the gut. I'm talking like in the last couple months, and in it, I signed up for a coaching program, a $25,000 coaching program. Yep, 25 grand. Right? If you get results, that's a small investment. You know what? The reality is, this coaching program right now, it sucks. Nothing like was pitched to me. So the support, it's garbage. The group calls, didn't know when those were going to happen. Didn't tell me when in the process. I find out it's when I'm on the water, and I'm on the water, freaking at 5 a.m. So and I'm in Pacific time. So how the shit does anybody get on these calls? I have no idea. But I'm not on the calls. If I email support, I've got this one person who's supposed to help me through the program. When I email, it takes 1 week to get a freaking answer. And the emotions, how about the emotions? I'm angry. I go through regret and disappointment. Because I don't have $25,000 just to piss away. Do you? Right? I'm looking at it as an investment. I need to have a payoff. I want what I was promised. And you go through those emotions because you trust, you believe, you invest. And you're left feeling like, a fool. At least that's how I feel. Now, some of you are thinking, wait, DSP, you're a coach. Why are you in a coaching program? Because I believe in coaching. Because when it works, it's like rocket fuel. Those wins, when I have the right coach, and the changes are amazing. A part of the coaching program that I have today is because of coaches. I don't know what I don't know. I need to learn all the time. And if somebody can shortcut the process, because every time you make a mistake, it costs you money. It's the same for me. It's any business. So if somebody knows the journey, if somebody give me the plan, somebody can tell me exactly what to do, and it can springboard me, the success is fantastic. So again, if you find the right guide, the right voice, it unlocks your fire. You scale faster, think clearer, win bigger. But I get it. Maybe you've been burned before, just like me. And when you're running a restaurant, money doesn't fall off the produce truck, right? It's not like it hits a bump and boom, here's a whole bunch of cash. Cash is king. Dropping cash on a coaching program is terrifying. It feels like, betting on black when you're in Las Vegas, when you're down to your last chip. This is the big swing. But here's the thing. If you stop taking the shot, you guarantee you stay stuck. Look, if you fail to innovate, learn, and grow, you die. Let me hit with a story about the rise, fall, and restaurant reality. When I was in college, back at Northeastern University in Boston, it was a 5-year program, so 1984 to 1989. One of the restaurants when we had money to burn, we'd go to was called the Ground Round. It was hot concept back then, the Ground Round. Most of you listening to me right now probably have no freaking clue, the Ground Round. It was born in 1969 in Massachusetts. It was actually a Howard Johnson's. Remember the Howard Johnson's, chain? They were restaurants and hotels. They had Bob's Big Boy. Well, they had the Ground Round, and it was their side hustle meant to, save their underperforming spots. After the 73 oil crisis, which I'm just old enough to remember, it became their golden child. By 1985, they had 215 locations. Not shabby. Then came the 1980s and the 1990s. Outdated decor, massive menu, debt piling up, while Applebee's and Chili's evolved. Ground Round stayed stuck. Boston Ventures bought them in 1997. But their corporate stores tanked while the franchisees carried the weight. By 2004, boom, Chapter 11. They shut down 60 locations. Some franchisees, out of Maine, they stepped up. They formed their own co-op and tried to save what was left. At that time, there were 71 restaurants. Today, do you know how many restaurants they have? 5. That's why you've never heard of them. 4 of them in the Midwest and 1's in Massachusetts. From 215 to 5. Moral of the story, if you stop evolving, stop investing, and start believing your own hype, you shrink, you vanish, you die. Now back to that crappy $25,000 coaching program that I signed up for. That pain I shared with you, the embarrassment, the disappointment, the anger, the sadness, it lit a fire under me. I want to be very clear. I was talking to my team. I said, I don't want to be that program to anyone. So we made some big upgrades to our coaching program. And I let the cat out of the bag at our seminar last week. And it was half-baked, not completed. We are this close to rolling everything out. And my team has been working freaking hard and furiously to get this all put together, from a new training library to new roles of what we're doing, new benefits. Because why? I'm an entrepreneur. It's fire, ready, set, aim. And I don't want you to ever come into my program and feel the way I feel. Because I refuse to be the coach who disappears after the invoice clears. So here's what's new. There's a lot that goes on, but here's what's really new. Weekly one-on-one coaching calls. No more just group. You get one of my coaches or mentors focused on you every single week. So in the past, we've been a group coaching program. Every Tuesday we get together, unless you're in the RTI program, in the RTF, every Wednesday we get together and we share. You've got your video library, and in the RTF program, you have a member mentor, somebody's gone through the program, and you meet with once a month. Hey, how things going? Da-da-da. If you get into trouble at any point in time, you can call Mary on my team, who's our success coach, and she's fucking legit. Let's just put it this way. She knows the systems inside and out. She's fantastic with members. She's fantastic with their management team. She gets people on course. Then you get really challenged, want to get a budget done, whatever it may be. Now you're working with Steve Eller, who was a member, gone through the program, made huge changes in his business, sold, brings to the table not only the knowledge of restaurants, the knowledge of finance and accounting and all the things that come along with, just a dynamite organized individual, helps people move forward. Really an emergency, you get on my calendar. We're not one-on-one, we are a group coaching program until right now. So I've got member mentors. I've got Avery Ward, who is, we call the unicorn of the restaurant industry, kicking ass, making huge change from a member into being a member mentor. Just awesome individual. He loves helping you. Got Deja Wakefield. Oh, geez, this woman went from a school teacher to, kicking and screaming into the restaurant business, not knowing numbers, not like freaking fantastic with people, organization, making sure people continue to be held accountable. What she brings to the table is fantastic. They're both multi-unit operators and made huge change. And then I brought in David Militello. D-Mill, as we call him lovingly, actually was one of my first 5 members when I started 23 years ago. Became a coach for me, became a consultant for me, my old company. Then after about a decade, 12 years working together, I think it was, we split for a while. And then he came back to my 2-day seminar a little over a year ago. And I brought him back into the fold as a member mentor in our Mastery Plus group. And we've been growing. Things have been going really well. We've had enough success that it was time to change. And add on to it the fact that I joined this coaching program and I was pissed. And I don't want to be that person. So David Militello is back on board as a full-time coach. Between David and the member mentors, it is now a one-on-one coaching program with group coaching calls as well. You are going to have somebody work with you and talk to you every single week. And we've changed the video library. Instead of just a one-size-fits-all, for all intents and purposes, it's a customized course path. There's no dumping you into a static video library like I've done. And and I loved it. It's, you got to do this before you do this, before you do this, before you do this. It was the plan if you were to ask me where I would start. But the challenge is each individual has your own challenges. Maybe you've got a labor problem and labor's too deep. Maybe you got to get a budget out right away and we need to work on that right away. Maybe you've got a leadership issue. It does not matter. Cost of goods sold, you need recipe cards. Well, we need to be able to bounce around a little bit more. So now David is going to build a path based on your restaurant, your goals, your challenges. You'll have your own program. Yes, you still have the one-on-one calls. Yes, you still have the weekly group coaching calls. Yes, you still have the video library, but that video library is now going to be broken down into chunks. Call it, 101s, 102, 202s, and the 303 level kind of things. And it's going to be mapped based on you. Because I don't want you to ever feel like I feel right now in the program I'm in. This changes the game. Weekly calls mean you stop procrastinating and you start delivering. You focus on what matters most and you get results faster. Isn't that the ultimate goal? See, all these changes, this is about support, clarity, progress that you can actually measure. The things that I'm missing in the program I'm in right now. Now I get it. If you're jaded, I get it. I feel your pain. If you've been promised the moon and left in the dirt, you're not crazy. Shit happens. But when you find the right coach, and this is why I keep spending money on coaching programs. When you find the right coach, everything changes. I'm still swinging, still betting on myself, still hunting for that 1 out of 10, hunting for that 1 out of 10 coach that delivers. And I'm making damn sure that I'm that 1 out of 10 for you. You don't have to do this alone. Let's keep shooting the shit. Let's keep getting better. Let's keep taking the swing. Now, if you want to learn more about the changes we've made in our program, how they can benefit or springboard you in real restaurant world, right? Real restaurant prosperity. Get yourself to freedom of your restaurant and the financial freedom you deserve. Scan this QR code. Get on a discovery call with Ryan. Ryan is a member who started with me, and he and his wife Neely changed their business, runs 2 locations, commissary, he's got food truck, he's got all these different things, and now he's been working with me. He started as a member mentor, and now he's our solutions coach. Another incredible individual that literally got to a point where he started to get bored because he has delegated so much and he's got so many things working for him with his management team. He wants to help me help you make change in your business. I've got nothing but the best people on here, and Ryan's one of them. Like, he is in the trenches running a restaurant today, yet he's got time to help work with you. So click on that QR code. Learn more about what we've got to offer. We want to learn more about your business. Maybe we're a fit. Maybe we're not. We'll find out. that finishes my section of Shoot the Shit. I'll leave that QR code up for a little bit. Let's see what your comments are at this time. Matt Plapp says popcorn equals ground round. Yes, they had the popcorn machine. I forgot about that. Baskets of popcorn. And by the way, anybody who serves popcorn in your restaurant and you serve beer, you know how it just freaking screws up your beer clean glasses, right? It is just the oils. Oh, just horrible. Neil says, what about my bookkeeper? What about your bookkeeper? Give me a little bit more. Like you said, I got to change my accountant. Do I change my bookkeeper? Give me a little more information about what's not happening, how I can answer that question better. That'd be helpful, my friend. Ryan says, haha, you beat me to it. What'd I beat you to? I don't remember. I said something. All right. This is now the time for you. This is your time to ask me questions. Now, there will not be a Shoot the Shit next week. I will actually be in Sacramento. I've got a race. I'm actually racing my single. Wish me luck. I'm not the fastest guy in the single. Man, I make an 8, a 4, a quad, even a double move pretty quick. Man, I get a single. That's just me. I tell you what. So pray for me that I survive. I've got 3 races in a morning, and it's a challenge. I've done this twice before. I find myself in the middle of the pack. We've got Deja's in the house. What's up, Deja? Good morning to you as well. I wish I could, man, I do not know why my social media thing is not working. Carlos asks, when is the next seminar? I think it's December 4th and 5th. Mary or Ryan, if you could type it in there for them. I think it's December 4th and 5th. First week of December. I know that. It's a Wednesday, Thursday. I should know it. But you know, I just finished the 2-day seminar and my brain is kind of mush. Love to see you there. We've got, Neil says, come to my pizzeria in San Francisco. You know, dude, I would love to come to your pizzeria. However, I am driving with the coach. We're driving the boat trailer from Phoenix, Arizona over 2 days to the race venue. We're going to practice. Then we're going to eat, go to sleep. I'm going to race. Then we're going to break down all the boats, and the coach and I are going to be leaving with the trailer and going halfway home and getting back on Monday. So I will not have the time or opportunity to drive a couple hours to San Francisco. But I love the offer, and maybe the next time I'm in San Francisco, I'd love to. Pizza is my favorite food in the world. All right, I was wrong. Mary typed in, it is December 3rd and 4th. So it'll be, again, in Las Vegas, at Meet Las Vegas. You can go to, everything's up to date on my website. I believe Jenny did that. You go to davidscottpeters.com, the upper right-hand side, click on Live Seminar, and you'll find all the details there. We are wanting to promote a little earlier. I'd love to get the room bigger. We had about, I think it was 85 people in the room. It was a nice crowd, but I'd love to double that. I would absolutely love to double that. For those of you who went there, I'm not quiet, shy, and introverted. It is a pretty energetic, fun 2 days. And you think, fun? My claim to fame is I present the most boring information, more real world, more exciting, more entertaining than anybody else. I promise you, I will get you fired up about going home and making change in your business. All right, Mary, put the link in there so that you can click on that if in the comments and go straight to the page. Debbie Anderson's in the house. What's up, Debbie? Hello. I had a chat with one of your people, and they said I needed to do some things first, and were going to send me a link. I never got the link. Can you help? Ryan James, does this make sense to you, my friend? Can you let me know in the comments, Ryan, if you're seeing this? I know there's about a 20-second delay that you've got Debbie and you're going to send her the link. If you did send it to her, make sure you text her and let her know that the link is there, that maybe it went into her spam. I very apologetic, Debbie, if we did not get back to you in time. And Mary, if you don't see Ryan type it in here, again, because I've got a delay, do me a favor, will you poke Ryan and make sure that happens? I would greatly appreciate it. We got you, Debbie. I'd love to bring you into the program if we're a right fit for you. So don't know what the things are you were supposed to work on. All right, who else has got a comment, a question? We've got about 5 minutes left. I'd like to try and respect your schedules, keep it to about 30 minutes for Shoot the Shit with DSP. Again, reminder, there is no STS next week. With that said, here comes a comment. Debbie, Ryan says he's on it. You probably saw that in the chat. So we've got you. Thank you for letting us know. We'll get that done. Because again, I don't want to be that coach. Like, this whole purpose of today is what? Poking everybody to say you've got to continue to learn. You've got to continue to be better. One of the key things in the restaurant prosperity formula, the most successful people I've worked with, is they learn. They don't know what they don't know, so they go out and learn. And then they teach. They teach their management team, so they're not the only ones who know. This is how we change. You cannot stay within your own four walls and be stagnant. You have to learn how to innovate. You know, it's the book Good to Great. Who's the author? I'm blanking. The book Good to Great. A must read for any entrepreneur. You know, it's making sure that your company is not U.S. Postal Service, it's FedEx. Right? U.S. Postal is static, the same, just a juggernaut of bureaucracy and just same, inefficient. Where back in the day, FedEx was nimble, could turn on a dime, innovative, made huge change. Just think of where FedEx is today. They never stop innovating, cutting edge on technology. These are the things we have to do as operators, as restaurant owners, as entrepreneurs, is to always look to innovate, to learn, change, become better. If you think you're doing fine today, if you're okay and you settle, well, you and I will never work together. Not only because you don't want help, but two, you're the wrong mindset. Because shit can change fast, like on a dime. Let's see here. Neil says, what's an acceptable percentage between ideal and actual food cost? Great question. So as everybody understands, ideal food cost is what your food cost should be based on your accurate, up-to-date recipe costing cards and what your customers actually purchase, your product mix from your POS report. We run that. Let's say your ideal food cost based on what your customers actually purchased, no waste, no theft, no spoilage, perfect restaurant, which does not exist. Your food cost should be 30%, 30. What's an acceptable actual? An actual food cost is beginning inventory plus purchases minus ending gives us use. Use divided by sales gives me the percentage. Use is what the product actually leaves the shelves. Whether it was sold, wasted, stolen, spoiled, or you took it out the back door, the fact is the product is gone. The math says gone. And for the sales that came in, use divided by sales gives me my food cost percentage. So if I have a 30% ideal food cost, no waste, no theft, no spoilage, perfect restaurant, which does not exist, what's acceptable actual? Well, let's start off with stellar. If you have a rock star chef or kitchen manager, like they're freaking crushing it, they're going to be 1.5 to 2 points above ideal. That means they would run a 31.5, 32%. Odds are 32% food cost. That is crushing it. I'm talking about you've got all the systems in place. You've got portion controls, and you've got prep system, and you've got an ordering system, and you've got par levels for ordering. You've got an ordering budget. You've got opening, closing, side work checklists. You've got monthly checklists. You've got line checklists. You have shelf to sheet inventory on a weekly basis. You got recipe costing cards. Like, we're crushing it. You get it? Like, this is a true pro. 2 points above ideal. That means instead of 30% ideal, you're going to run an actual 32%. There are not many that do that. Not going to lie. We all need to try and strive for that. A typical restaurant, to go the opposite way, runs 7 to 9 points above ideal. So instead of a 30% ideal cost, they're running 37 to 39%. If I had $1 for every restaurant owner that comes to my program that starts with a 38% food cost, I would be freaking a millionaire. I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. Like, it happens over and over and over again. Why? Because everybody thinks 34%, now we're running 4 points above. Hey, we're doing pretty good. So now, to answer your questions, Neil, what's acceptable? For me, a good kitchen manager or chef is running 3 to 4 points above ideal, working towards 2. So a 30% ideal, I'm okay with 33, 34. Again, if I'm a pizzeria, pasta, and I'm running 22, I may accept anywhere from 24, 26, 28. Hopefully that answers your question. We've got, Neil also asked, do you like Toast and xtraCHEF? I'm agnostic on POS systems, but I will tell you 8 out of 10 of my members are probably using Toast today. They are the most innovative, fastest growing food and beverage tech company I've ever seen in my life. They're always evolving, always changing, innovating. So I've got no problems with Toast. I think they do a good job. xtraCHEF, quite honestly, I don't know that it's ready for prime time the way I like it. I happen to like Margin Edge, and you can go to my guy, Bruce Earl, by going to marginedge.com/DSP. I do not get a referral fee. I do not get any financial compensation. It's a program that was written by restaurant owners who still run restaurants and operate. I think they will do a dynamite job. But Bruce, if you go to marginedge.com/DSP, that's my guy. He's a 30-plus year vet. You're not getting a 20-year-old reading a script. He knows his shit. So, but I'm going to tell you this. If you're using xtraCHEF, it's going to work fine. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. The software you'll use on a daily basis, the one I like. Let's be clear. Mary said, good to great is Jim Collins, to go back to who was the author. Thank you very much, Mary. Appreciate you. Matt Plapp's in the house again. What about your bookkeeper, Neil, equal joining the program and have high-level advice from DSP's coach? Yeah. That's one of the things we help you with. We help you with the right chart of accounts, your expectations with your bookkeeper and your accountant. We have a list of recommended accountants from our members who are delivering. We can set you up with as a member, and quite honestly, we get in there. Steve Eller is a beast. We can do a review of your numbers, tell you what you've got wrong, what you've got to get changed, and help you with that. Appreciate you, Matt. All right. What are we doing here? We're right about 2 minutes past the half hour. I'm going to see if there's any last minute question. Otherwise, again, a reminder, no Shoot the Shit next week. It'll be the week after. I've got a race this upcoming weekend. And I hope today you learned a little something. Even just the example of the ground round. That you've got to innovate. You've got to learn. You've got to change. And as a reminder, as my good friend Matt Plapp is on here, you want to learn marketing? That's on my shit. You want help getting it done? You want a loyalty program that rocks? You want to get a video magazine created on how awesome you are and drive people in your business? Go to americasbestrestaurant.com or mattplapp.com. Look him up. He's a crazy bastard. He actually give you his cell phone number. Not me. I'm not quite as confident as he is. Neil says, thank you. Neil also says, what about a pizzeria run bottom line net profit San Francisco? So let's go backwards. I don't care that you're in San Francisco. I've got members in California, and I know that your labor cost is amongst the highest of the country. You've got health insurance issues or challenges, requirements, whatever we want to call it. If you're doing $850,000 a year or more in sales, my goal for you as a member is a 55% prime cost or lower, and that's a 15 to 20% profitability. If you're doing under that, you start being a $500,000 pizzeria, we're looking at a 5 to 10%. Like, it's tough, and you're the manager. You start doing $2 million and higher as a pizzeria, we could start sniffing at the 25% profit margin, depending on where your other things are. Like, if your rent in San Francisco is more than 12%, we're not going to get there. I want you 5 to 8% occupancy cost. But we find in large cities like that People are paying top dollar. And so you're giving up some of your profitability to your landlord. So hopefully that answers your question, my friend. All right. I'm going to call it now. We're 5 minutes past the hour. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to join me on Shoot the Shit here with DSP. I'm the DSP, David Scott Peters. Know that I appreciate you. Know that I want the best for you. Whether we work together in my coaching program or I just see you here on Fridays. Go out there, kick some ass. Make sure you get your share of restaurant prosperity, which is freedom for your restaurant and the financial freedom you deserve. With that, peace. We'll see you next time on Shoot the Shit with DSP.